Hello.
Hello.
Thank
Hello,
you.
lovelies.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. So it's nice to see everybody here.
There's a lot of
So
people here, aren't there?
yeah.
Hi.
Hmm.
Hi.
So Richard and I got dressed up for y'all.
No, I didn't bother dressing up.
Oh, you just rolled out of a nap,
This is a
didn't you?
Tuesday afternoon for me, really.
Well, Sandra is like very cool, Richard.
Thank you very much. The reason I put this on is I've kind of changed I have to look over my glasses for this. I kind of changed my profile picture on some of my Facebook stuff. And I thought, you know what? It's time to dig the hat out and give it a
Nice.
go, give it a brush off, I think. So it's my own creation. So I just thought I'd show it off because it hasn't been out for a little while because of COVID stopping all the steampunk gatherings. So
Well, and I love it. He Richard's all casual. It's like, oh, I made this. I thought I'd dig it out. So you have to say more about it, Richard.
So I got into the steampunk thing probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and I was trying to work on what my costume would be, and I noticed there was a lot of people went for black because a lot of the gothic stuff. So I decided I was going to go brown with my with the outfit, and
Wait a minute.
Oh, you okay? You're breaking up a bit.
I don't know what just happened.
Oh, I can see you now.
Am I better?
Okay. So there's this fabulous shop in Brighton that just sells millinery, and I found this wonderful brown top hat, and I thought, right, that's the one. So I bought it, and then Peter and I started to add things to it. So if I just take it off, firstly, you'll probably see we've got an actual telephone, which is obviously a fake telephone.
I'm going to embiggen you. I'm going to make you big.
Okay, so we've got
this.
And it actually works. You can plug this into your mobile phone, so you can actually talk on it if anyone ever phones you. But yeah. And then you've got to have the obligatory steampunk goggles at the front there. And I haven't put all the bits on it because normally it weighs a lot more. There's a lot more on it. So there's dials, and it's just bits and pieces that I've just picked up or fancy putting on. Normally I tuck a tarot card in there on the day. Normally it's got sort of more bits and buttons and whatnot, and it normally has a massive pheasant feather sticking out of it, but it might get in the way, and probably the cats might come along and play with it today. So I thought I'd go with the smaller feather option today. So I'll pop that back on because it's there. I think it's a bit wonky because it's a bit top heavy, but never mind. So yeah, it looks complicated, but it really wasn't. I have to be honest.
I love that, and I am just accented with a troll fascinator. So
why not? It's Tuesday.
Do what?
It's Tuesday. Why not?
Tuesday. Yeah. It's a say something hat day, Richard. It's a say something hat day. Okay, comment, in the chat if you know that reference.
Yeah, go and pop something on your head and join us in the chat.
Well, and I was explaining to Richard is this if I do it like this, if I were to spray my hair up, I could actually look like this troll. I could look like this troll and spray my hair pink. So
I think do it. I didn't realize your hair was that long, Gerald. Actually,
it's long. I've been growing it out. So
fabulous. Is this lockdown hair or just beforehand? I'm just gonna.
I love it. Lockdown hair. Okay, yeah. So let's say hi to a few people. Deanne, Blue Crescent Tarot.
Deanne.
Sandra. I have made both Sandra and Deanne mods. Kim Moon Whisper, hello.
Hello, Kim.
Tarot Stash was here for a minute.
Whoever he is.
Oh, Richard's here. Cool.
Ta-da.
And Jackie's here. Hello.
Hi, Jackie.
So, and yes, I have added a few mods. Thank you for that. And Nancy is here. Nancy.
Hello.
Yeah, Nancy loves the hat too. You know, I have to up my millinery game, man.
Well, I didn't want to upstage you because I know that you would normally come out with,
Well, I mean,
looking like
it's
a Monet painting,
well,
something.
yes, but I mean, that's just over the top before dark. Okay, I mean, it's one must be careful about when we do
Yeah,
that. So,
yeah.
um, so
We've got
okay,
Selkie here, I think. Selkie's
Silky's
here.
here.
Hello,
Yes.
Selkie.
Hello, hello.
Lovely.
Um, but it's like that. So, but so thank you everybody for joining me and for
Yeah,
being willing to participate because was it has it been almost a month since we did the live?
it's got to be more than that, I think.
Because I was your first.
It was, I tell you when it was. It was the Chinese New Year, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
That
Yes, it
was so
was.
January, probably about a month. Doesn't time go quickly?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Angela is here. Hello,
Hello,
and
Angela.
here on the two of us.
Love that. Why, thank you.
So, yeah, Sookie always wanted to troll, so she wasn't allowed to troll when she was a
Oh,
girl. Well, girl, get yourself a troll. Come on.
go and buy
Boo.
one. Lots in the shop. It's time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, everyone should have a
So,
troll. Don't you?
but we
I
had
know.
such a good time where we talked for almost 2 hours.
We nearly did actually. Yeah, we did. I'm just going to change my glasses because I can't really see very well in these ones, so I might pop them back on in a moment. But we did do 2 hours, yeah, easily, and it went so quick. It went like that, didn't it? It just flew
Yeah.
by. We had lots to talk about, but we kind of didn't cover really anything, did we?
Yeah. But
I'd like to be on that sort of transatlantic flight with you, Gerald, sitting next to you. We could just natter for like 12 hours, couldn't we? And still be like, oh, let's catch up and talk again sometime.
yeah, we need to do that. So yes, well, and I actually have ever since we did that, and you agreed. I actually have little cards that have questions on them and stuff. So I know it's awful. It's awful.
It's fine. I'm an open book mostly.
Yeah, mostly. Yes,
Mostly.
and any question that you have you can pass on.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it would be fun if anybody in the chat wanted to
Yeah.
pose.
I'm normally the one doing the asking, so it's actually quite nice to. It was a bit strange because I was a bit like, I haven't prepared anything, and then I thought you don't need to prepare anything because you know the answers, hopefully. So
Right. Ishi is here.
Hi, Ishi.
Oh, and Deanne's like, ooh, questions are fun.
You can ask me anything you like.
So, I made chocolate brownies, but I know you're not eating them. So I thought I would, just, have one. There's enough for everybody.
I hope you enjoy them. Don't choke on them at all, will you?
Mm.
They look delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Thank you. Thank you. Candy is here. Hello, Candy.
Hi, Candy.
Candy. I
There's
got
my
the troll
camera.
made. I got the troll made. Whoop, whoop. There will be more about it.
Brownies. I bet are they nice stodgy brownies you've got there?
Yeah, they're awful. They would be terrible.
I'd hate every single crumb of them.
You would hate every single crumb of them and enough to actually. I have a hard time stopping with brownies, especially when they're these are a nice blend between cakey and gooey.
Mm.
So it's like, ooh.
What is a brownie? Is it a cake? It must be a cake, mustn't it?
Well,
the cake is it a biscuit? I don't know.
There's a question. Okay, everybody in chat. Brownies, cakey or gooey?
Cakey or gooey? Depends how long you leave them in the oven for, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yes, but which of the two do you prefer,
Richard? Oh, well, there's an absolute, there's only one correct answer, isn't there?
And what would that answer?
Quiet. I won't say my answer.
Oh, yeah. Let's get some people. I'm as bad as Simon bringing food into chat. Gerald made me do it. I don't think
I could do chat and talk because it'll be like dribbling down my mouth, and everyone will be like, "That's just disgusting." So I can just about handle a cup of tea, to be fair.
Angela's like, move along. No need to describe the fucking brownies. Okay, Jackie is a gooey. Good mix, leaning toward gooey, yes. Candy is gooey.
Yeah.
Brownies are a magic in between sort of treat. They should be dense and fudgy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And are there other brownies other than chocolate? And do you put nuts in your brownies?
No. No.
I don't.
I'm not a great nut lover in sweet food. I kind of like nuts in savory food, absolutely, but not in cakes. And Peter doesn't like nuts all that much, so he tends to avoid having it altogether. But
yes,
yeah, but no, it has to be gooey, and as I can't remember who said it, just on the side of fudgy, that kind of gooey.
I like nuts.
I've never seen brownies made with anything else, come to think about it.
So Angela said they need to be a mix of cake gooey, but with chocolate frosting.
Ooh. Now I'll tell you what I do like, and here's a thought for the next chat. I do like a rocky road.
Oh, okay. All right.
And you can have nuts in those, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's an interesting thing. Okay, brownies are ace. Gooey. Walnut topping. Extra yum. So, oh, Dan says we have Blue Crescent blondies here in the States. Yes.
Oh, you're gonna have to, what's a blondie?
Blondie is, I believe, peanut butter. Is that correct, Deanne? Oh, she really likes our headpiece. Our headpieces.
Thank you, Itchy.
Thank you. And there will be. I'm working on another one. So, and maybe sometime I'll actually do my. Maybe I'll have troll hair. So when I wear it,
I would like to make another hat actually because I really enjoy doing it. And what I want is one with like a big raven, either like a raven or a crow, or perhaps the skeleton of a crow. I know you can get like the fake plasticky.
Oh yeah.
I quite like that because I quite like the old Edgar Allan Poe business.
Yeah.
But there's only so many hats you can wear. So.
Really? I mean, you should have one for when you get up, one for
no
time.
I don't really wear hats, to be honest with you. The only time I wear hats is in the summer because of my lack of hair, to be honest. So it's the only time I tend to. And then I wear them all the time, but in the winter it's a woolly hat and I get a bit hot. So
yes, Jackie, I would make my hair pink for this. So
do it.
Sandra,
can you video you doing it as well?
Yeah. Sandra likes Edgar Allan Poe. Do you have the Poe Tarot?
I don't, and I saw Sandra looking through, and in fact, I'm very envious of a lot of Sandra's decks because she's got the Edgar Allan Poe one, and I absolutely love it. The problem is I only know a certain amount of stories from Edgar Allan Poe, so a lot of them are a bit wasted on me. But yes, I absolutely adored it, and I also liked her Titanic deck. And I don't know if I've ever said it, Sandra, but if you ever want to get rid of it, I'll have it off you. Okay.
All right.
I absolutely loved it.
It's documented. So wow.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yeah. So so you don't have the Edgar Allan Tarot. Or Edgar Allan
Poe Tarot.
Yeah. So here's an interesting question. How much does that hat weigh?
I don't know, but it's not light. Let's put it that.
Yeah.
It's not light. I have no idea.
Okay.
It's probably getting on for 2/3 of a kilogram.
Wow. I mean, that's heavy for
It
your.
is heavy. It does give you a bit of a headache after a few hours of wearing it,
Yeah.
and also it's the circulation of no air up there, because I'm used to obviously having a lot of air around my head as there's not much hair again. So it suddenly gets a bit hot in all this. I don't know how the Victorians ever did it. I mean, I've got like a shirt and I'm just like, the fact that they went to all different parts of the world and how they cope, like in the Midwest and places like that.
Yeah.
All their outfit, I have absolutely no idea. They're
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about your tarot deck that you brought just because of the attire that you're wearing, and then
I can take my hat off if it gets too hot, then, can't I?
Yes, you can. I'm thinking about it.
We talked about the actual steampunk tarot. And I suppose I could talk a little bit about steampunk, because probably not many people here know that I do steampunk. And when I say do steampunk, please don't think, that I've got a garage full of kind of weird clockwork things. It's literally this and a few books. But I just really like the idea, the ethos behind it, of what steampunk is, and things like cyberpunk as well, which came out about the same time. And I just love how steampunk has kind of just taken off. And anyone can do it. Anyone can get their hands on outfits, and then you can build on it and add bits to it and personalize it. And you don't really get a chance in modern life to kind of have that, let's be honest, that other personality that you can explore at certain times. Right. So I go as a kind of mystery. My steampunk is a kind of Victorian time traveling kind of mystery solver who is really, really rubbish. Okay. So that's the kind of character that I play on this one, and he's a bit of a buffoon and a bit of a sort of opium fiend, and he's and basically gets through life on, by having other people do everything for him. So that's the kind of character that I portray, usually with quite a lot of beer or Jack Daniels or something like that in tow.
So it's quite autobiographical, then.
Absolutely, it's just me with a top hat on. Absolutely.
The only thing steampunk about me are my glasses. So.
I have always admired your glasses, and I would, if I ever came, I would probably steal them. Actually, I have to be honest, because they are the best steampunk, because they remind me of those frames that the old opticians used to drop in. Do you know what I mean? When they would, and I would love those. But obviously we're using them at the moment. But if they go missing, you know where to look.
These were actually supposed to be sunglasses. When I saw them in the shop, they had dark mirror lenses.
Oh, okay.
And I was like going, "Oh, these are awesome!" And for a while they thought they wouldn't work with my prescription. So so I'm going to put you on solo.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'm not going to go through all of them, because I'm sure most people have seen this one, but it's kind of a deck that I pick up and put down, and I haven't got the box, so I can't remember who the creator is of this one.
Okay.
So I'm really sorry about that. If there's any mods in, you might be able to find it. I know there've been a lot of walkthroughs of these, and I should have actually edged them because they are beautiful, but the backs of them are absolutely stunning.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And when you fan them, they look amazing.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, so they're super lovely. So you can't do reversals on them, but I don't really read reversals unless something comes out accidentally, so that's not a problem for me. And the line drawings, I really don't know. I think they're kind of a gouache, or I don't really know. They are mixed up, I'm afraid. I just grabbed these before I came out, so please don't. They're not in order, but just look at them.
Certainly, so ambiance, yeah.
It's got the Rider-Waite symbols in there, majority. It's very shiny, this cardstock. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anyone else has got these. I mean, they're mass market, you can get them. Six of Swords, but I love the way it's on that dirigible. I think that's what they're called, aren't they? Those kind of mini airships. But the Hermit card, I think, is the best Hermit card I've seen for a really long time. To try and get a decent.
Oh, that's great. Is this the
They've got
one?
that energy crackling out of it.
Yeah. Is this? Did you get this on Etsy or Amazon?
Amazon, it was.
Okay.
Amazon. I won't go through all of them. I'll just pick out some of my favorites. I quite like the Lovers because they've got the idea of gas lights going on there in the tree.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a lovely deck. The Devil card I seem to remember is really, actually the Star card's beautiful as well. I won't, as I say, I'll do a couple.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Yeah.
Sandra said this is a mass market deck. I have it.
Yeah. And that's quite a famous image, the High Priestess.
Yeah.
I think they use that on a lot of branding of things. So yeah, it's really lovely. And again, I don't use it as much as I should do. The many thousand, not many thousand, I've probably got about 60, 70 decks in total. But, you know, it's like you're quite good. I think you use your decks quite a lot. I'm very much a one deck a month kind of guy. And only on special occasions or something I haven't used that deck for a long time or suddenly draw into it and then I'll go for it. So
Candy said gaslighting and lovers. God, I felt married for a second. Oh girl.
Lovely.
And
they're very dark, the images on those ones though. I mean, if you try and read them by candlelight, it's quite tricky. You do need to have a gaslight going on there. So
yeah. I have a steampunk tarot deck that is not that one. It was one that I got off of Etsy because I think one of them is the steampunk tarot and one is
yeah. I have to say I do prefer the one I've just shown you to the other one. The other one's not bad, and I haven't got a copy of it, so I've never looked through it all in total. And I don't like saying I don't like the deck if I haven't actually physically taken the effort to look through it all. But it's not my steampunk, let's put it that way, and that just fits in very much with the kind of persona that I would do. And actually, steampunk and obviously the gothic side of it all fits really well with tarot, and quite often at these kind of gatherings and steampunk festivals and fairs, you know, there'll be tarot bits and pieces in there as well, or opportunity to buy something a bit exciting. So it melds together quite nicely, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so I have entered the troll. I got a troll. Will, I believe I just removed him. So if anybody else sees him, come in.
Oh.
Sorry, lovely. So, but anyhow. All right, he should be gone. So that's my first troll. And Richard, you were here with it. My first troll. And I'm wearing a troll.
And you had a troll. Oh, I'm going to go back and have a look.
Well, it was.
Oh, well, and let's move on. Yeah. Oh, it's a shame that these kind of things happen, but it happens, and that's the nature. And thank goodness for all the lovely people that do moderate us, that just look after us and keep what we say safe and allow everyone to express themselves. But thank you for that.
Oh, Sandra, it's okay. Don't worry about it, because she's like, she missed that one. Well, you know, it was like, what? And so Neem is here. So
hi,
hello. Hello, Neem. I will do that so that we can do that. So, all right. Do you want to take your headgear off, Richard? Because I have some questions.
Yeah, okay. I'll put it just there.
Okay.
And I might just have to dab my forehead somewhat. With the Union Jack, why not?
There you go. And while you do that, I'll have another piece of brownie. There you go.
You enjoy that, Gerald. You enjoy that, my friend. No, I don't.
Is she
I might just
recorded?
flip my jacket off, actually, if that's okay as well, because
Of course. Get comfortable, Richard.
I'm going to get comfortable, and I might. I'll tell you what I have to do. It will go back on in a minute. Can you see I've got just a white shirt on? I'm happy to pop it on. That's better. There we go. That's my teaching mode now. I'm ready to go now.
There you go. All right. So,
Lovely.
you went to school for theater. Is that correct?
I went to university and studied theatre. Yeah, I've always been very theatrical, always in the amateur productions and school productions. And when I went to do my A-levels after school, my parents were like, we want you to go and do some really sensible A-levels. And I was like, but I want to be an actor. And it's like, no, you're going to go and get a sensible education. So they literally took me off to the local sixth form college that my sisters had gone to. And I studied human biology, history and English at A-level.
Okay.
And I kind of hated the 2 years that I was there, apart from the shows that I was in. And I didn't do particularly well because I wasn't really focused. And so I said, well, I've done what you've wanted me to do. I'm now going to go and spend another year doing 2 more A-levels at a different college. And I did A-level film and the A-level drama, or theatre studies, I should say. And from that, I came out with cracking results. And my parents went, yeah, okay, we understand it. So I went off to Reading University and studied film and drama, but I tended towards the drama side of it all for 3 years. And it was a brilliant course. And I had a ball for three whole years. Fantastic.
Yeah. So, sensible A-levels, boo.
I know.
So I have a question about your theater experience. And again, with any of these questions, you may pass. What is your favorite play or musical to act in?
Oh my word! Right, well, I'm going to narrow it down. I don't know if I can answer that, but I'm going to think about it. The 2 loves of my life when it comes to theatre is Shakespeare and Greek tragedy. Okay. And I love what you can do with those. So it would have to be Shakespeare. And I'm thinking it's got to be Richard III. It's got to be Richard III. Everyone loves to play a baddie.
Yeah. Have you? Oh crap! I was going to ask you if you've ever seen a show. I'll get back to that.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite to direct?
Ooh. Now the directing side's always been done. I have done professional, but it tends to be now amateur groups around the area that I've done. So therefore, it tends to be musicals that I've done. And operetta, and there's a local Gilbert and Sullivan Society that I've directed for, and I think Gilbert and Sullivan is just great fun because I'm not at all traditional, as you probably gathered by now. So I will go for something like Pirates of Penzance, something you can have a bit of fun with and modernize it and play about with it. Yeah, that kind of thing. Second one was Greek tragedy, so things like, I'm trying to think of famous Greek tragic plays, Electra, Medea, that kind of thing.
Antigone?
I quite like. Sorry?
Antigone?
Antigone, yeah, Sophocles and all those ones, yeah, and so Oedipus and all those ones, yeah.
Yeah, so, wow. So do you have a favorite to be a stagehand or do any of that? Have you done that?
I've done it. I think I've done most jobs backstage because when I finished university, I ran out of money, as is often the case, and had to come home and live with mum and dad. And we were so lucky that in Eastbourne we have 3 theatres. In fact, we have 4 theatres. One is a massive conference centre one where they have a lot of shows that come off the West End. And one is a fabulous, gorgeous Victorian theatre with the proscenium arch and the boxes. And I was lucky enough to get a job there, start with a pantomime when I finished university. and I was shifting the scenery, and we were flying witches in and doing mirrors and tripping over dwarves, and everyone was, just having a great time because it's, as you know, it's very tight space backstage. You have to be super organized and have things everywhere, and you have to, if you take something, you have to put it back exactly where it came from. And I just loved it, and I love that, and I love the social life. So everyone will go out afterwards and drink for hours and hours and hours every night, and then get up at ridiculous time, probably with a hangover, and then go and do the show 2 or 3 times again. And I just loved it. And then I would work in the flies with the scenery, calling the show, doing everything, props and everything like that. And it was one of the best times of my life, I think.
That's beautiful. I love that. I probably about 12 or maybe 14 years ago, a friend of mine pulled me in to do props for a children's theater. And boy, that was fun. And we're having to run backstage too. But my favorite prop that I had to do was making Pinocchio's nose for Shrek.
Yeah, oh, right. You had to make it grow, did you?
And I had to make it grow, and it worked. And let me tell you, I like to call myself a props magician, because early on I was like going, oh my gosh, I need to have exactly this, and it's like, no, you don't need exactly that. You need it to look like that. You need it to read that way on stage. That was an eye-opening experience. But final dress rehearsal, I finally got that dang nose to work. And it was brilliant. It was, the director was impressed, and I was like, okay. So
yeah, it's amazing that stuff. And also, it's also amazing the kind of sellotape and tape and stuff that goes to holding it all together. And
oh my gosh, yes,
it's like, it looks glamorous, but you should, if anyone's ever worked backstage, they'll know that it's chewing gum and zips that hold it all together.
And it probably took me a good 10 years of working with the props before I didn't get hot glue to burn me. But yeah, so and the other one that I did was I made antique sewing machines for Annie. Annie, and I made them out of pipes. So it worked beautifully.
Oh, it looks stunning.
Yeah, we have a question. Which deck does Richard have at the top of his wish list? And me, what do you have?
Can I consult my phone, because I keep a list on there?
Of course you can consult your phone.
It's quite a long list, and I don't ever. There is one, actually, and I mentioned it the other day in Quarren Stream. I would really like the Ellis deck, the Ellis Tarot, which is probably, I think, on its 4th reprint now. But I haven't been able to get it yet. I don't think it's that expensive, to be honest with you, but it's fabulous. Let me have a little look. Sandra's Titanic one. I've got my eye on that one.
Yeah.
Let me just have a look. Let me read my list of things.
So Jonathan has joined us.
Hello, Jonathan.
And Deanne loves working backstage. And
live, isn't it?
Sandra said the top of her wish list is Siren's Melody Tarot.
Oh, do I know that was Siren's Melody?
I don't know that one.
I kind of got swept up in the Blushing Fool kind of conversations, and one appeared on eBay.
In the
UK 2 weeks ago, and I started to think about, let's put a bid in, and how much are you prepared to pay for a Blushing Fool deck? And that was a kind of conversation I had to workshop myself with. How much would you pay for I think of 1971, I think it was, Blushing Fool? And of course, the problem is you're buying it off eBay, so you've got to be 100% sure it's legitimate. Anyway, I thought, right, we haven't spent any money during lockdown. We haven't been on holiday to speak of, so I went in at 220 was my maximum bid. It went for 350.
Wow.
To be fair, there was another deck with it, which was a very old Crowley Thoth deck. But I know that everyone was just interested in the Blushing Fool on that one there.
Yeah.
And since then, I think the person that bought it has now separated the decks out and sold it for, well, I think it's still on offer. So I would like it, but then I look at that pile over there, Gerald, and to be honest with you, there's decks there I haven't touched, and I'm having not a bit of a, not necessarily sort out, but I'm thinking if I'm going to get something in, something's got to go. Now, I have got my eye, and I know that I have chatted you up as being a mule for this one, for the Sabbat one, which is a bit of a naughty one. So we don't put a link in for that one, but the Sabbat tarot, which is, well, if I was to get it from America and get it back to me, it would be about £250.
Yeah.
But fortunately, I know a mule. So I'm gonna have to think about that, because again, I'm thinking, oh, I'd really like that one, and then I go, oh, it's just going to sit on the shelf.
Yeah.
So I'm quite practical about it. I've got over my. I decided, am I a tarot reader? Am I a tarot collector? Or where am I somewhere in between that?
Right.
And I'm not quite sure at the moment.
Right.
I'd switch. I'd change.
Yeah, I understand. And I agree with you. Tarot Stash was created thanks to Neem coming up with the name, but that one's focused on the deck acquisition, because that's fun for me. I like to acquire decks, and I think for me, actually writing down the decks that I have and rotating them, I'm okay with being a collector, to be honest with you. Yeah. Especially with some that are art focused.
Yeah.
That just makes me happy. I am especially when an artist will sign the work. That just thrills me. So I really like that. So.
I get that. And I mean, I've got some decks that I have bought probably in the last year, but that was from when I started looking at tarot when I was young and getting the catalogue. And probably there was only, I don't know, 20 decks that you could probably buy in mail order then. And I never obviously got them because they were really expensive. So now I've gone back and bought them. And it's quite nice just having those, thinking that was kind of what started me off, my interest in tarot in many ways.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm also a bit of a sucker for Kickstarter as well, which I have to say it's gone very dry at this end on Kickstarter things delivering. And I understand what's going on. So I'm a little loath to keep backing stuff when you just know it's going to be quite a long time coming through. And you're probably going to get clobbered quite a lot for charges coming into the UK as well. So
yeah, I just got my Cosmo Visions Oracle from James Eads, which I haven't done an unboxing, but it's all of his stuff is quite lovely, and there's a lot of those that are out there. I also just I did order a couple of decks recently, and one is Mindy from the Artistry of Tarot. It's a Thoth Oracle.
Whoa.
And she was talking about that, and I'm intrigued by Thoth. And so it was like, okay, this could work. So
it's funny you should say that, because I've kind of thought a lot about Thoth recently.
Okay.
And I'm deciding why, and I think that will be the next place I go to, if to extend my understanding of tarot. I really want to understand and get to grips with Marseille, because I've got more Marseille. I don't even own a single Thoth deck at all. So yeah, I'm just thinking, where do we go on? Or do we just stay with RWS and other Oracle decks and just, I mean, there's so much to play with in that field that why do I need to go further afield?
Yeah.
I've asked myself.
Neem is like, I have only started with tarot and a little less than 2 years, now, and I have asked myself quite a few times, who am I in tarot, and what is tarot for me? I'm not a collector, though my collection is growing. Yeah, that's a really wonderful thing to think about, especially when you first get into tarot.
Um,
Um, and it is part of the journey, because now, especially in the last 3 or 4 years, the available tarot decks is phenomenal.
yeah, absolutely. It just seems every week there's something out that you could, you could buy if you. And that's the problem. I have to limit myself because I know if I don't like mostly all the cards, I won't get it. It's Chris and Simon did one. Was it the Marielle they did?
I think
With
so.
a beautiful deck. And I was like, okay, yeah, reaching for the debit card. And then 3 or 4 cards cropped up, and I just thought, I can't work with that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't get it.
yeah. Ishi is like, I hope your partners aren't within earshot.
No,
Yeah. So we're okay.
no.
We're okay.
Tied up in the bedroom. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah. Tied up in the bed. Hello. Welcome to Let's Find Out Things About Richard that we were not expecting. No. But Thoth is a system, and I'm not keen on. But that's just me. Well, Sandra, it is a system, and part of what is for me is like, okay, what's that system, and what can I learn about it and apply to my reading? So, and Jonathan also got a copy of the Thoth Journey.
Yeah.
MA pulled out my standard RWS last night for the first time in months. It felt like an old friend. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's interesting. I do that. Just go back to the old original ones, and just there's something really comforting about it.
Yeah. Candy's like, my Thoth deck cracks me up. It's rude as hell and hilarious. And I just put in a pre-order for Arcane Bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and because I saw a walkthrough of it, and boy, there's something about that. It's just like, because sometimes when I do readings for people, Richard, it's like I'm the one who will call bullshit on somebody when they're not telling the truth, because that's what the cards say.
Yeah.
So I that just happens. So
it's interesting when that happens and you get that sense, isn't it? And it's like,
yeah.
Do you want us to start again? I quite often go that way. Do you want me to start again? Well, we're going to tell the truth. What's happening here?
Yeah, and I also like it when it's like, well, this would be a lot easier if you're honest with yourself and with me. So
yeah,
do you want to stay and do that, or I mean, because I will call bullshit every so often.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just putting my joss stick out because it suddenly started to got a funny burning smell. So we're safe.
Yes, it was Alex who did a walkthrough meme, and I saw it, and then I was like, this would add a lot of value to how I read. So
that's, I think, the important thing, isn't it? It's about now realizing what deck is going to add something to your understanding of the tarot. What's going to not necessarily improve it, but make it more organic for me. What's going to make it? What's the next stage that I want to take with it, and what decks might I want to go with, and which ones am I going to retire off because perhaps that's not the journey they want to go on.
Yes, and people were talking about purgatory boxes, things that they're not. I don't really have purgatory boxes. I just have timeouts.
Yeah.
Because it's, I don't want to get rid of them. We are not connecting. I'll own my part of it. We're not connecting as a reader and a deck. So
it's a bit like my hassle with the Druid craft. It took a long time, but it was my fault. I wasn't connecting with it. It wasn't the other way around or anything.
Yeah.
But we finally got there. Just give it some time.
Yeah. 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 It's very, very, very interesting. And I think it's important to just know what drives you. So
Yeah.
Sandra has a purgatory box. Only one though. Like, okay. Okay. I'm not one to necessarily move decks on. I'm not there yet.
Passing them on.
Uh-oh. Issue is I have a Gerald made me do it set in the basket. It will happen. This might hurt. Maybe a birthday treat to self.
Do you know what? Actually, that's exactly what I'm doing. I really want this might hurt, and I am holding out for the pearlescent edge rather than the black edge holographic one. And at the moment, that's out of stock in most of the places in the UK. So I'm just
It's
on.
also they're working on a third printing of it. She's working.
Okay.
So
I'd rather wait for it rather than rush into it. So
yeah. Couldn't connect with it. It was so far off what I learned about the tarot. Yeah. And I think there are some that's one of the benefits of YouTube, TarotTube, is being able to see walkthroughs about things. Because before, you couldn't do like what you did with Chris and Simon, to where you're looking at the cards. And I'm the same way. There are certain cards that I look at in the deck.
Yeah.
And I have to feel some sort of a connection to them. So Candy calls it her vacation shelves for the unused ones.
I like that.
I like that.
I think of myself as a retirement home for knackered tarot decks, so I get lots of second-hand ones. So that's what's actually on those shelves, the ones that are kind of second or third hand through eBay, and I just give them a good home.
Yeah. And Emma is like, I need to look again to see how similar This Might Hurt is to the Numinous, to see if I think I might use both. Already have the Numinous. Is it Numinous?
Numinous, I think it is.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what it looks like and can't remember.
Thanks, Sandra. I'll take that. Retirement home for knackered decks, tarot decks. And
you heard it here first. Pass them this way.
Yeah, there you go. I can see it now. You set them up, and there's the common room where they go, and then
stand them all up nicely.
Yeah, they can sit on the lanai and all that stuff. So, it's like awesome. Well, and Jonathan just had the creator of the In Between Tarot come on his channel, which I love that tarot deck, and I bought that one because I thought it would work with the before tarot and the after tarot, and it doesn't. They're different. They're different creators. But what I want to do, and people can tell me if this would be helpful, and I'd love to know what you think, it's because I like the before and the after tarot, and what I was thinking about doing is a walkthrough of the before tarot, the after tarot, and then the in between, and then actually rotate them through so that you can actually see the
That's a nice idea. I like that, Gerald.
So
you see, I've got the between tarot, and I haven't devoted enough time to it, because for me it's you've got to work with that one. It's not just going to come instantly. You've got to really and there's so much in it. You can have a card. Is it going magician, or is it high priestessy? Which way are we going today with this one? So it's a really interesting idea, but I really want to do it justice before, rather than just write it off, if that makes sense. So I just need to spend more time with it all.
Yeah. Looks.
Issues. We're talking about This Might Hurt. They haven't got. Well, I checked the other day. They didn't have the pearlescent one. They only have the black one, and I think they are still shut for another few weeks as well. So I'm hoping. And actually, I think I sent an email that they would email me. That's the international word for an email, isn't it? Yeah, email to say, let me know when it's in.
Good luck, Candy.
Thanks for dropping by.
Yeah. Oh, Jonathan said she suggested using the transparent tarot over the between tarot decks. And I adore the transparent tarot, and I have the transparent oracle. It's like,
Which version have you got of the
I have
transparent?
I have both of them because I love it so much.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
bought the first one, however many years ago, on second hand, and I've never used it.
Yeah, the first one, it's a little greasy or oily, so it doesn't shuffle very well.
No.
But I did take Simon's suggestion, which was to get a light box to be able
Yeah.
to see it. But
Put one on top of the other. Yeah.
yeah, so and Neem is like, I have a few decks that absolutely make me throw up, but only one that had to go without second thought. Every deck isn't for everyone, but as you grow, you know. Yep. Still be growing and occasionally fail. Yep. Yeah, FOMO.
That happened to me. I bought a deck, and I'm not going to say who it is because what's happening, because I've got a feeling there's something in a pipeline happening. But I re-gifted or gifted it to someone because I just wasn't using it. And I'd much rather it got used and got loved and appreciated and adored rather than just sitting on my bookshelf, sort of forgotten. It's quite sad.
Yeah.
That's the case, isn't it? So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, I mean, and tarot decks, it's part of it is what you're familiar with, but also what is going to help support your growth. So it's a delicate balance. So
Yeah.
And Regina Tarot is here.
Hello, Regina.
Oh, and
second edition soon.
Yeah. So well, I actually have the second edition. It's the one, it was a she published it afterwards because it had been so popular.
Yeah.
Which was brilliant because that's part of how I read. I read by layering information, and so I pull from astrology, somebody's numerology, the different cards, and I like to tell that story.
Yeah,
I like to make it go. And boy, creating creating a story, that's a great exercise when you're learning tarot. It's just like going,
it's the best exercise I could advise people to do. And some decks work much better than others. I mean, your standard RWS will do a fantastic job of putting you into that zone. You know, they have the way that Pixies designed it, of this kind of medieval kind of weird world, of the historical world. You know, you could have so much fun with coming up with the stories.
Yeah. Well, and that's, one of the benefits of tarot writing prompts. It's like, and so, I do tarot writing prompts for that idea of just to get the creativity flowing. Yeah. And Jen from Jen's Balanced Tarot is doing the tarot free writing, which is a great way to understand and to sit down and to journal about a card. Yeah, it has so much. It has so much benefit. Oh, Jezebel's here, and Regina's here, and maybe we should put on the hats again. We should
miss all that. Do you mind if I don't put all the tie and everything on?
Nah, just do the hat. So
Right. So now it's dark, and I haven't pulled my curtains, and everyone walking past is now thinking, "What earth is going on there?" But here we go. This is my steampunk hat,
and this is my troll fascinator.
I can't do that.
It's a mobile phone, right?
The mobile phone, yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh gosh.
So I'll keep it on. I know I'm going to take it off just for a little while, just to air myself. It's quite hard to think with that on because it's wobbly because it's weighted to one side, and it kind of, so you have to kind of compensate for it, and it's a bit.
Yeah.
Which is all right if you're standing up, but sitting in a chair is a bit harder to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Candy is Tilly is not having shampoo.
I used to hate having my hair shampooed when I was
So
a kid.
mm.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, you have a lot of hair. How often do you shampoo your hair, Richard?
Every time I have a shower, so it's every day or perhaps every other day,
Okay.
because there's still hair follicles there that get greasy and get so I like to have a nice clean head there, but I sometimes shave it really, really close, and then I don't have to cut it again for about 2 weeks. I'll kind of let it go.
Yeah. Jonathan was talking about he absolutely loves Transparent Tarot, and I had my mind blown by Emily when she pulled a card from Tarot of the She, a card from the Transparent Tarot, and a card of the Transparent Oracle. I heard about the Tarot of the She. I'm pronouncing that right, I believe. And I didn't realize that it was Emily who did that. So as soon as I figured out that it was Emily, I immediately purchased it. I mean, it was like boom. So it was like, oh my gosh. So
do you pronounce it like that? I've always pronounced it differently.
How do you pronounce it?
Well, I pronounced it scythe. Okay. A bit like but I might be wrong, but I was told that by a tutor at university who was Irish, and I believe it's an Irish word. So I don't know, but I think it's one of those words you just kind of have to go for, and everyone just goes, yeah, that's fine. I think that's how you pronounce it, isn't it?
Hello, Simon. Oh,
hello, Simon.
Did welcome. Get to see our headgear? Because I'm.
He's not gonna make me do it again, are you? It hurts. Okay,
but
as it's Simon.
But come on, it's just for a second. So here's our headgear, Simon. So it just shows you where our spirits are. Richard's a
Victorian time traveler,
and I'm just a guy with a troll fascinator.
Fascinating troll.
A fascinating troll. And eventually, I will actually do a video where I puff up my hair because it is really long and it can look like a troll hair. It's either that or
you're gonna get like the dungarees things as well.
I can. Maybe that's something Tarot Sachet could do. Tarot Sachet as a troll. I mean, you'd have millions of viewers tuning in to see that one. Oh my gosh. All right. So, Richard, other than tarot, what do you collect?
Quite a lot of dust looking at these shelves actually around here. Do you know what? I'm a person that gets absolutely fixated on one thing for a small amount of time, and then it's like, put it down, and then the next thing. Books. I like to collect books, and actually that's what I've been kind of slowly doing lockdown, is sorting out my bookshelves and getting rid of stuff that I haven't ever read or know that I'm never going to read. What else do I collect? I used to collect kites. I used to do a lot of kite flying.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to think, what else do I collect? Can I think about that? I might come back to you, but I've never been. I used to be when I was a kid, collect lots of things like toys and stuff, like Star Wars figures and stuff like that. But I never. I can't think really what I collect. So tarot, actually, I mean, I have to say, has filled that niche. And it filled that niche quite a lot as I came back to it, because I realized that my hobbies and my interests were slowly going out the window as my career changes. And so it's really nice to have rediscovered it and not only had the collecting side of it all, but had something that has actually been in my life for 3 or 4 years now. And I haven't ever got bored or, thinking, oh no, it's time to have a break on it. So It's nice to feel like I've got something back into my life that is mine, and hopefully I'm getting better at as well.
Yeah, Sandra, you take your time. Be a good human for your kitty cat. So, I I have a tendency to. I'm really good at acquiring things. Um, and I know that that may sound weird, but um, it's just I happen upon. It's some. It may be a manifestation thing. I'm good at manifesting, finding what I need. That happened with the props when I was working in the children's theater. I could suddenly, I needed this, and then I would find there would be five of them when I only needed two.
Yeah.
So, and you know this, Richard. If you need two of something, you buy at least five of
Eight.
them.
Eight.
Yeah, yeah. Because my big thing, and I may have said this to you, my big thing when the directors that I've worked with have made it have included the props people, has the props magician, and I get to like the first rehearsal. I get to show up and I get to talk about it, and the first thing out of my mouth is, "If a prop isn't yours, don't touch it."
Yeah.
And if you break a prop, you will have an unhappy props magician, and that is not a good thing.
You don't want to off the people that work backstage in a theatre.
Oh man,
They get you out of so many holes when you're on stage performing in whatever role that is. So, yeah, and they can make your life hell as well at the same time if you do that. So,
yes, and by the way, we would totally love to make your life hell if you were a horrible actor who has no interest in others being successful. Let me rephrase that. I don't, I struggle with that.
Yeah.
Because people can be jerks. I also collect yarn. Quilting fabric. So.
Now, my sister has a quilting company.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, and she makes designs, and she goes on the UK shopping channel called Hochanda, and she goes over to Houston to the craft shows quite a lot, and she also works with a company in, and I can't remember where it is called, but it's somewhere in New England, around that way. And she works a lot with American quilting, and she has got 2 cabins devoted to fabric, and they are lush. So I understand the fabric obsession.
Yeah. It's just glorious. I mean, I graduated with a bachelor's in fine art where I did painting, drawing, sculpture, and printmaking. And so for me, it's like having enough paint, or it's just like all of the possibilities are available to me. So
there's nothing wrong with that. And I mean, the thing is, it's lots of things. As you say, it's like have I got enough? If you're going to start a project, you need to know that you've got enough, because particularly with fabric, end of a print run, they're going to make another one and it's not going to match. Then you've got that kind of, I'd like this. And anyone that does crafting knows exactly what that feeling is. It's that feeling of I need this, I need this, I need this. Then you've got the things that inspire you to actually go and make other creations. So there's a lot tied in this. And when people say I'm a bit addicted to it, or whatever, I totally understand it and I get it.
Yeah. And I think that fear of missing out is something with fabric too. It's just like tarot decks. I was on vacation with my sister and in Tennessee, and we were visiting different fabric stores, quilting shops, because she was the one who taught me to quilt. And I think it was the fourth one, and I purchased some fabric at each one, and it was the fourth one that I went, boy, this looks really familiar. I had purchased the same fabric line from three of them, not realizing they were the same fabric line because I loved it so much.
It's the same when you buy a tarot deck and you don't realize that you've already got it. I've done that a couple of times. So yeah,
I need this. So yeah, crafting supplies or rabbit hole. The rabbit hole is vast.
Yeah,
and
I totally get that, because I was into crafting a few years ago, and it's only this year I got rid of all my stamping sets and stuff because I wasn't using them, and I donated them to somebody who during lockdown was very creative, and it's quite nice to do that, to pass it on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Printmaking.
I liked printmaking. It was so good. It was so enjoyable. Okay, so yeah, and it's the balance. We all know our balance of what we're comfortable with. It's part of that the what tidying up, the Marie Kondo idea, which is only you can tell you how many you should have. When does it feel? When are you? What are you comfortable with? Then when does it feel like a burden?
Yeah.
And when are you comfortable with it? And that can change. And so we just have to, you know, we have to understand.
That's the problem with me when I was talking earlier about the fact that I can really run with something for a period of time, and then I kind of stop. And the problem is, once that stops, I then have to store the stuff if I'm ever coming back to it ever again. And with me, chances are probably not, which is why if I'm going to go back to it after a period of time, I get rid of it, or then rebuy it later on if I need it.
Yeah. Is there too much yarn, really? I don't know.
No, I did a bit of knitting, and I get a bit excited when I go into the wool shops here.
Yeah.
I can't knit to save my life, but I buy the wool.
Well, you can crochet, and you can also do what Sandra's doing. She bought some yarn, but it's for witchy crafting. And is she, one word, stationary? Yeah.
Yeah. Pens. I'm a bit of a sucker for pens, nice pens. I like a nice fancy pen.
Yeah. Are you an ink pen, rollerball, fountain pen sort of guy?
I love to use my fountain pen. I bought a very expensive one I like a really thick nib on it so that it's real, almost calligraphy style.
Okay.
And I like that. However, for ease and because of the nature of the ink, it tends to run any work that I do for work. It's going to be a roller point. But what I do like is what teachers have. I don't have one to hand. The one with the 3 or 4 different colors, and you click on them.
Oh yeah, because you got to
really useful. I do so much for that one. I'm constantly clicking on pens and changing colors on it.
Yeah. So,
you haven't had a brownie for a long time.
I haven't. Are you trying to?
I just want you to eat the whole lot by the end of it, so you'll feel so full up. I might need to have a rest break for 2 seconds. Would that be okay? While you show the world the brownie.
Be.
I'll tell you what. I might turn my camera off and I'll come back in a second. All right.
Okay, and then maybe I'll do the same after you're done. So, but anyhow, so what other things are you all collecting, and what is next on your wish list for tarot? And if you do have any questions for me and Richard, let me know. Oh, I like this. Yes, Jezebel. I get all kinds of emotional with the sound of a dip pen on thick paper. Yeah. Has anybody ever made handmade paper? I have done that. And it's actually, I've done it for a couple of reasons. One, I've done it for art. And then the other one is I've done it for magical purposes. Especially on at one of the major holidays, and especially when that major holiday falls on either a new moon or a full moon, just extra awesome. So I love fountain pens and doing calligraphy. I like a good fountain pen. So, but okay, so I've got, like I said, I have all of these questions for Richard. So, oh, I remember the show that I wanted to ask Richard if he's ever watched. Has anyone ever watched Slings and Arrows? There are 3 seasons, and it's a Canadian show where they, it's about a Shakespeare company. And you basically, over the course of the series, you get the whole story, but it's really interesting. Emmy has marbled paper, but not made the paper itself from scratch. So, and Regina, when I was little, as an art camp project, we used ink, lint. Oh, lint. Yes, lint. So
Hello. Sorry about that.
I was just asking people if they have made paper. So
Ooh.
Being a lefty, yeah, I could see that.
One thing I did used to make is theatre masks for productions and
Wow.
stuff. Yeah, and I used to make it out of papier mâché and bits and pieces there. And it's something I've always liked doing. I know they frighten people a little bit. In fact, I've got a lot of masks around, actually. I'm not sure if you can see on the wall up
I'm
there.
going to put you on solo layout, and I'll be right back so you can
Okay.
tell them about the
Go make some more brownies.
Yes.
Yeah, so I used to make masks out of paper mache, and then I used to make them out of bits of fabric as well, so it gave it a bit more flexibility, and paint them up. And they were designed for the theatre, so the way they were lit rather than as a decorative item. So that was one of the things I used to spend a lot of time doing and playing about with paper and layers and paper pulp and bits and pieces like that. And then recently we went, Peter and I went to Venice, actually about a year ago, just over a year ago. And of course they got these beautiful Venetian masks there, which are just everywhere and absolutely stunning. But you know, I could have bought the lot, not had enough wall space, but I thought I'm going to have a go at making that when I come back. So, but I never got round to doing it, but that's another project there waiting to happen there. So I know some people are a little bit scared of masks. Sandra says I must be pretty crafty. To blow my own trumpet, yeah, I suppose I am. If I can take an idea and visualize it and put it into reality, if that makes sense, I can do that. I'm not very good at things like wood, and I've got quite shaky hands. I tried to do some modeling with clay during lockdown, and well, I didn't have the proper tools, to be fair, but it absolutely looks a disaster. So there's bits I'm good at, like most people, and bits that I'm just absolutely shocking at. So, but it's that whole process, isn't it, of just building something and then in the theatre, particularly seeing it, you know, on stage. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So Richard, here's the heavy question. Are you ready?
Go for it. What's
your next big goal or hill to climb or summit that you want to reach?
That's a big one. We've got work to do on the house, or the flat that we live in. So the next thing's going to be to get the the kitchen sorted and get decorating, and potentially look at moving. I think that's the big one, and it's something we need to be doing because we're running out of space. But the actual thought of moving house fills me with absolute dread, I have to be honest, and that's probably why I haven't done it for a long time, just because, you know, the process firstly, and here we've got lots of bits and pieces to sort out in all forms of things, and it's kind of the thing I've just put off, and I suppose now being at home quite a lot, it's like, right, now's the time to actually think about doing that big change, summoning the courage up to do it. And I'm not using that term lightly, because for me it is the big thing.
Yeah. My big thing is to get through this year, because you know, my word of the year is step. So I'm going through each room in my house, cleaning it, cleansing it, decluttering it, making room for new things, stuff, more tarot cards. Well, yeah, there is that. I don't have a tarot room yet, but Jeffrey and I are actually talking about making our front parlor our magic room, which would then have all of our magical supplies.
Does Jeffrey do cards and stuff then?
He does.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he does. And which is wonderful, because one of the things that I have upcoming on the channel is I'm going to do a live where I created a spread which is called Tell Me About Joy, as in the emotion and the feeling. And it's a 9-card spread. And I'm going to do a live with that probably in probably in about 3 weeks, to invite people to come along and try that.
That'd be
And
great. I really enjoyed the other day your with Julie going through that spread.
thank you.
And it was really nice the fact that everyone else was joining in and putting down their cards.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. It was quite refreshing to do that. It was nice.
Thank you. Thank you. And this joy spread, my favorite piece of equipment for creating a tarot spread is sticky notes or Post-its, because you can move them around, especially with the layout. And so it's a 9-card spread. I don't think it's that complicated, but I'm used to it. So,
yeah.
But
it's the thing, isn't it? I mean, you often look at the more cards you put down, the more complicated it looks. But actually, it shouldn't really be that way. It should be giving more insight into it all, shouldn't it?
Right.
And quite often you come across spreads and you think, I'm not quite sure where that card or perhaps those cards are there. And, it's nice to think I can change this up if I want to. Not that you have to stick to something that's in a book or on a website and just play about with it. It's really refreshing.
Yeah. Ishi, I completely understand that the struggling to part with a cardboard box, especially one that's a good box. It's like, oh, but this is so good. Yeah, I get that.
You get a nice cardboard box. There's nothing wrong with it. Put something in it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and the other thing is like I did a spread. I shared it on my channel. A spread for understanding repeat cards. I did a live with that, and because I've had, the stalker card, the repeat cards, and so, and it's just like I needed more insight, and so I slow down enough and let's consider it, and then I was like, oh dang, this is really good, so let me share it with everybody. So
good.
Thank you, Ishi.
Have you done that already? That one, I've seen that. I can't remember if you've done that one yet.
I think it got posted yesterday. I think it was an impromptu live on Sunday, I believe. So,
I shall look forward to seeing that one.
So, and M.A. McCollage, so I struggle to throw any scrap away. Yes, I understand that. So, I get that. Okay, so Richard, we have a teachable moment. Okay, are you ready for this?
Oh Lord, okay.
Teachable moment, and I am not a professional teacher, so you when we were chatting the last time, you were asking me how is the United States broken down for time zones?
We were. Oh, you got a map.
So I have a map. I'm gonna put myself full, okay, so that you can see this. So this is Eastern Standard Time here, and then we have Central here, and you can see here between Eastern. There are some areas.
That's confusing.
It is very confusing. And we also have that here in South Dakota. So you can see that. We also have it in Oregon. This is Pacific time. So this is Mountain and Central. And then we have Hawaii and Alaska.
Right.
So
I see. So if, let's say, what time is it now with you?
Right now it is 1:49.
So let's say it's 2:00 in the afternoon, just to make it easy.
Yes.
So every color 1 hour back from you.
Yes. This is where I am, and Deanne is here. And then we have Mountain and then Pacific.
So Deanne's in the blue zone, is she?
No, Deanne, I'm sorry, Deanne is in yellow. Sorry.
Okay, yes.
She's yellow. She's in Michigan, so
I'm yellow. She's saying I'm yellow.
yeah.
Do you know what? That's absolutely fascinating. But it makes sense. And actually, looking here with my mathematical head on here, is those bits that stick out of other states, or perhaps like the green bit that doesn't. I think it's Nebraska, isn't it? It's a greeny blue bit. If you think about the fact that the world is got a sphere, that actually that is probably in a block, isn't it? When you think of it in terms of that. Does that make sense? Because it's bulbous, it's actually probably just a strip rather than looking a bit more confusing.
Yeah.
What a teachable moment. I love it.
There you go. And
so another question then, perhaps other people, if you don't know. So you have daylight or summertime extra hour?
We have daylight savings time.
And is that across the states?
It gets confusing because yes, it goes across the states, but in some of these little areas here, it may not change.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, because I was, there was, it was like, so in, good old Wikipedia, and the Royal Observatory in Greenwich established Greenwich Mean Time as an aid for mariners to determine longitude at sea. Did you know that?
I did know that. I've been to Greenwich. It's very nice, the Maritime Museum there. Yes.
And it's about 15 degrees longitude for 1 hour as it moves. That's what you go. And I was also looking at it, and China is all in the same time zone, even though they go more than that 15 degrees.
Wow.
I mean, that's just crazy.
It is, isn't it? You think about the size of it.
And Debbie's like, and it happens this weekend. Yes, it happens.
What's happening this weekend?
We go into daylight savings time.
Oh, you're going this weekend, are you?
Yes. So
that explains, sorry, jumping in there. We had the conversation about the lives that I've put on and why one of them is on a different time on StreamYard than the others, because also UK British summertime is the end of the month, I think. Sunday, 28th, 29th, I think it is. Yeah. Gosh.
And
good luck trying to find a live video at a certain time. just hang around all evening waiting for something to kick in. Something will happen eventually.
And several years back, they actually moved it up 2 weeks.
Oh.
And I'm not exactly sure why they moved it up. They didn't ask me, but I mean, they I think they made it 2 weeks earlier. And again, I'm not exactly sure why. And I think it's 2 weeks earlier and 2 weeks later or something like that. 2 weeks later to fall back to regular time. So
it makes sense, to be fair. I mean, it is confusing, particularly if this is the first time I've had to schedule stuff and thinking about who, when, how, and everyone's going to get together. But it will all sort itself out in the mix. Yeah.
So there's your teachable moment, everyone.
Thank you for that. I kind of appreciate it. I'm going to shoot lots of questions your way now. Well, I'll think about them each time and just be texting you, Gerald, going.
That's fine.
I mean, it doesn't help the fact that my geography of the American states is absolutely rubbish. So, I can think of it. I will be saying, is that a blue one? Or is that a green state? Or, a yellow state? I've been to a few of the yellow ones and a few of the orange ones, and I've been none of the blue or green ones. Oh, no, I flew over them, but never been set foot on them yet.
She wants to know daylight savings time till later in the month. Is it the 28th?
I can let you know. I've got my handy Filofax here. I can look at it.
Look at that.
I know. I think it is. It's the end of the month. Somebody might beat me to it. The 28th, Sunday the 28th. So it'll be actually Saturday Let's start again. So it's the night between Saturday 27th and the 28th. So it's about 2:00 in the morning. The hour goes forward. So yeah, 28th.
Yeah. So I just look at it in as this, I lose an hour of sleep and then I gain an hour of sleep in the fall. So I never want to lose an hour.
It's just moving it. You're not actually losing it. And everyone always goes, "Oh, I've lost an hour of sleep." And I say, you've got sunny, hot days coming. Who wouldn't give up an hour of sleep just for, extra light in the evening and going to the pub?
Well, yeah, that was the other thing is back in the day when I was going out to the pubs and the bars and going out dancing in the fall, it was an extra night. It was an extra hour out at the bar. So
it's worth it. It's just worth it.
Yeah. Okay. So here's an interesting question for you.
Okay.
And everybody in the chat can join along.
Mm-hmm.
What is your superhero power? I believe.
Oh, I got this one. I know this one. So I think about it almost every day.
What is your superhero power?
It is
that thing.
Think about it.
It's that thing that we have that you just seem to go boom really quickly, and everybody, it's like.
Oh, do you mean my fantasy one or my actual real one?
Well, let's start with the real one, and then you could do the fantasy one.
My superhero power. Oh, okay.
Do you want me to go first? So
you go first. Give me an example.
Okay. My superhero power, my actual one, is I can turn any conversation to a sexual nature in one sentence or less.
You haven't done any of that today, though.
Yes, because I don't want
5 o'clock or 6 o'clock.
I don't want trolls picking on me.
Well, we've already had a couple, haven't we, today? Or one at least. So.
We had one, and I'm like, well, I felt badly for Candy because, I don't think these people know who they're dealing with. Candy will make you evaporate, boom. So, anyhow.
Right. Do you know what? And again, it sounds like I'm blowing my own trumpet, but perhaps not. I actually think I can make people laugh by very silly comments. Mm-hmm. That's what I think that's my secret, because I'm pretty rubbish at most other things. Not rubbish, but I can't drive a car. I can't do that. I'm rubbish at navigating my way around anywhere. I get lost going down the road. I
can't. Okay. Debbie, her superhero power is that she is a font of useless information.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a vacuum for absolute drivel. And I can just, at the right time, it has occasionally served a purpose, but very rarely.
Yeah. So, Debbie, I will keep this in mind if I need to phone a friend,
Yeah.
So, Jezebel, my superhero power is I only need to see something done once, and my clever little hands can make a way worse version. Okay.
Oh.
So Regina also has that superpower. So yeah. So okay, so you can make people laugh. I could see that. And you probably haven't seen my superpower. So I did once and you missed it. So I did earlier on. Yes. When we were talking about if you like nuts in your brownies. So.
I thought that was a cheap gag, to be honest with you. I wasn't going to bite on that one.
Well, you should never bite on nuts, Come on.
I'm worried that everyone thinks I've got Peter tied up in the bedroom, to be honest with you. Of course, that was a joke.
It's all consent. Consent.
Oh, no. He's actually gone out. He's gone out to give me some peace and quiet. So I'm on his computer again, as usual. He's like, oh. I said, do you mind? I can go and sit in the chair and get my laptop. No, it's all set up nicely and it all looks nice. And we had to move our test kits that are on the mantelpiece for the COVID. I was like, that probably doesn't look quite nice in the background. We won't have our COVID test there. People put some tulips up instead. That's a bit more.
There you go. And MA, with age, I have gained the power of invisibility. It's awesome.
That's quite
something,
isn't it?
Yeah. And she is spreading and sharing the love. Yes. It's wonderful. Yeah. Do you have a fantasy superpower that you want?
Yeah. I would actually know. It's like if I was a magician or a mage or whatever, what would be my thing? And it would be weather control.
Ah, okay.
I'm fascinated. One would say obsessed by the weather, to be brutally honest, as most British people tend to be, but me super obsessed. And I like the idea that I could change the weather like that.
Have you ever tried any weather magic or anything like that?
No.
Okay. It's hard to control. I mean, it's okay. I mean, sure, you can make it windy, but try to control that wind. Good luck.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna happen.
No, I'd love to do that. Because I think if you had the weather, you could also, you have quite a lot of powers. Some people would like to fly. If you literally get the sun on a really hot day, you can wither people, can't you? If you've got a wind, or you can drown, drench people with the rain. You've got a lot of powers there on your side. So that's what I tend to think about when I go for lonely walks.
Jackie wants to know if you're doing a naked rain dance.
No, No, I don't quite know how to take this, actually, Jackie. Just thinking about it. Firstly, no. This naked would not change the weather. Let me put it that way. Make it rain. No, I'm very interested actually in things not necessarily like that, but the idea of where all that comes from. And how it came about and the beliefs behind it, actually. So that's why I'm kind of dodging the question, not dodging the question, but thinking about
it. But let's in a serious moment, let's go back to the word is escaping me. When we were an agricultural society and our well-being depended upon the success of the crops.
Yeah.
So there were lots of celebration and rituals to help encourage that. So.
Yeah. Well, that's where the wheel of the year in many places, when you look at them, it's just take it for the agricultural element of it all, when to cut, harvest, sow, and when to pack up your food and hope you can get it through the winter. It's that.
Exactly right. So, Lon Mar. I think my superpower is finding interesting stuff and then inspire others with that.
That's nice. That's nice.
So I have to put this up again just because I'm that guy.
It would have to be in Speedos if I was going to do it. We've had this conversation already, Jackie. All right.
You and Jackie have had this conversation?
Yeah, it came up at one point about Speedos and something. I think I said so. It was one quarantine stream, and I said, "Oh, it's really hot here today." And someone said, I can't remember. Someone said, and I just went, "Yeah, everyone's walking around in Speedos," and it went from there. So I think, I might get some Longman Tarot Speedos, branded perhaps.
Credit for everything I'm not saying. So.
Have to be careful where the logo goes.
Thank you. So
leave it there.
Ishi was talking about, she went back. I think Ishi and Deanne were talking about the, daylight savings time, and I found out that in Russia they had like 12 time zones across the country of Russia, and then they actually went down to 10. And then a few years later, they went back up to 12. So
really,
I
mean, obviously, when in the UK we've only got the one time zone. When we go abroad, obviously we have to normally, if we're going into Europe, 1 or 2 hours ahead. I think Poland, when we go to Poland's 2 hours ahead. So it's not much to mess up your body clock, but it can play tricks on it, can't it? Especially when you
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
jet lag and stuff.
Regina says it would have to be a 1920s swimsuit, which I actually think 1920s swimsuits are quite alluring.
Hmm.
Come on. I mean,
Yeah.
really. I mean, leave something to the imagination. Okay?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
you know, anyhow. And Jackie said a wetsuit.
That's probably better, to be honest with you, Jackie. Perhaps you can go one more step on a deep sea diver suit, you know, with the big helmet and the
Well, that
lead
would be
boots.
totally
I think that's
steampunk.
probably the safest option here.
Yeah, but that would be totally steampunk.
It would be. Yeah, we're back to that again, aren't we?
Yeah, there you go. So you shared on your channel. Tell us about your channel. I think most people follow both of us, but tell us about your channel.
So I've actually just redone my introduction video because one of the first things YouTube does is ask you to kind of put an introductory video together. And literally this week, I thought that needs updating. So I can answer this question because it's all fresh in my head. The channel's coming up for a year in May, and I just like to explore different parts of the tarot. Sacred sites fascinate me, and how the history behind them and how that might relate to a tarot spread or a tarot deck. The Wheel of the Year, the Sabbats, interest me as well, so I quite often do regular features on that. I do unboxings, but recently I've not done quite so many, and a lot of them are old decks because, as I said earlier, I'm a nursing home to knackered decks. But more and more, I've kind of done more about my well-being. And I think there was one video when I started to talk about some of the mental issues and well-being that I've been through. And that got, you know, a lot of people talking and a lot of ideas. So I've kind of branched out from where I originally thought my channel was going to go into other parts, which is absolutely fascinating. And I'm doing more stuff about where I live. I'm doing stuff more about me and tarot. And of course, then the lives came in January, and I was absolutely nervous about doing them, but absolutely really love it. And I mean, sometimes I know I overstep the mark a little bit, and I hope people forgive me if I say something that may be shocking or difficult or whatever. But that I find is much more. I quite like the two-way thing that can go on with a live. Although I still absolutely love doing videos and tinkering about with the technical side of it all.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. And I'm thinking about where I take Longman Tarot next. Some of the, you know, when I finish doing the Wheel of the Year and I'm slowly getting through the major arcanas as a study videos, what happens next? So where it's going to go. So really interesting, but it's opened up so much to the community. And I always say this, but I cannot thank people enough for supporting, whether it's watching a video, whether it's necessarily subscribing or just coming onto a live just to take part like now. It is refreshing, and it does me the world of good. Just in that, you know,
that's wonderful.
Absolutely love it. And you know, hopefully I would like to think that I learn more about myself by doing each one than actually some of the stuff I talk about.
Yeah. Well, I commented on your Ostara tarot spread. And did you make that tarot spread up?
I've adapted it. I'm going to be fair. I did. I wanted to. I looked at what it is. The Ostara one, the Wheel of the Year, and that one was something that I've always been really fascinated in, and I never knew very much about it. So what I did is each month or every 6 weeks, take the next festival, take the next Sabbath, look at it, and do a tarot spread around it. And I'm nearly getting through the whole year. I think it goes to Letha and then we're done. And it's been absolutely fascinating with folklore, the history. And, you know, I was thinking today, some of it actually isn't very old, because let's not forget, a lot of it comes from Gerald Gardner in the 1950s. So we might pretend that it's set in the dawn of Stonehenge, but actually it's probably about 70 years old, some of it. But it's just how people have adapted it. And for me, it really has helped with sort of forms of seasonal depression and understanding the world. And this is a really silly thing that I'm a bit ashamed to admit, Gerald. But up until I looked at the Wheel of the Year, I never thought of the year as a round thing. I always thought of it as linear. I always thought you start on the 1st of January and you go right the way along to the 31st of December, take the calendar off the wall and put the next one up. And I never thought of it as a cycle. And it has really, really helped my understanding of many things, many, many things because of it.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant. And yeah, you know, I'm moving toward doing my more nature-based or Wiccan practice, whatever you want to call it, and noticing the celebrations that are associated with the seasons, and then having grown up Catholic and feeling the connection to those celebrations to the other celebrations. It's just like there gets to be a certain point where it's like, you know, there's just too many things in common here for it to be separate. So and
it's fascinating. And just doing the Ostara one, because I just thought, well, I know everything about Easter, and actually there's not much compared to the other Sabbats. There's not actually that much about Ostara. And then we started to get into the Germanic goddess of Istra, which of course is where we get estrogen and those words that we're beginning with that from. And then there was something else that there might be something to do with I think it might be Babylonian or Mesopotamic goddess called Ishtar, which of course I completely missed out of the video because I only want to make them short, you know. And but you can start off with a little piece and you just keep exploring it, and you just learn so much. And that's
it's brilliant. It's brilliant to be able to go, oh, and what does this mean? And tell me about this. And I actually have Jeffrey actually taught a class at a local shop, which was all about the seasons and or excuse me, all about the holidays. So I have a binder full of that information. So it's just absolutely lovely. So, you know, I also think if once you finish that wheel, I wonder what it would be like for you to go back and reflect upon what you've learned from doing that.
I think that's really important. And keep going. I don't want it just to be like, that's it, I've got to where I started, because that's not what the Wheel of the Year is about, is it? And just make subsidiary or perhaps redo the videos into sort of longer ones, and perhaps, you know, keep them as a bit more discussion, perhaps talk about them on lives and stuff like that, because everybody can contribute, whether it's memories or sort of family traditions. I mean, if you take Christmas and Yule and all that, I mean, we could spend hours talking about that one, couldn't we? But there's some lesser known ones which are equally as fascinating, not just the astrological as well as the astronomical, plus all the other bits that are going on. And of course, the other thing that I always forget is that the Southern Hemisphere is doing the opposite side of the wheel.
Right. Yeah.
And that gives me a little bit of, when I'm feeling a little bit low, when we haven't seen the sun for a few weeks or perhaps even months, sometimes in the UK, just going, right, Southern Hemisphere is having their lovely summer, and it'll be our turn soon.
Yeah.
Literally our turn.
I see what you did there. See, superpower in action. You made me laugh, dude.
Ka-ching.
Nicely done. So, what's your favorite thing about your husband?
His kindness and his ability to calm me.
Nice.
Because I can go off like a rocket sometimes. And when I'm in my absolute manic zone, he'll just go and just go, yeah, okay. And he is, there's many, many, many lovely traits about Peter. And he'll start gushing about them. But yes, that's one of the kind. He's very kind. He's very generous, very calming, and keeps me in my place in the right way. If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. Do you want to show your picture?
I could do, because I always talk about Peter, and I know he's never going to come on the camera. So, but I have got.
And this. I'm going to embiggen you so that you're solo, so that we can get a good shot of this.
Okay. So we got married in 2015, in July, and one of the things we did is we had a really big wedding at the town hall here, and we were actually the first gay couple to get married, as opposed to just being a civil ceremony. So here's my wedding photo, and I'll try and get it so you can see me and Peter standing outside the town hall with all those people there. And there must have, well, we were supposed to have, I think it was about 50 or 60 people, and we managed to squash about 100 people in there.
Wow.
And just in the back, there's my dad. Oh, there's my dad here and my auntie. So yeah, just a really nice keepsake.
Yeah.
Your face too when you talked about him. Someone else said that about people. Yeah, it's hopefully it's full of love, that expression. So
yeah, lots of love for that. Lots of love for that. So
very
fun, Mara.
I'm going to talk a little bit more about it because we got married very, very quickly. We got engaged on Christmas Day and we got married in July.
Oh, shotgun wedding there?
Something you want to tell us, Richard? Well, what it was, I just turned around and said, I don't want to hang around. I know I found the right person, and I just know that life deals sometimes some devastating blows. So let's just get on and enjoy being with one another. So we did rush it through. We went to the town hall and found a date. Because we're both teachers, we managed to find one that was just at the beginning of the summer holidays. And of course, if you've got literally 6 months to organise a wedding and a venue, it's impossible. And what we were so lucky is we got a little hall just where I used to live, a little village hall that we booked. And I had a friend from work who did the catering for us, and we must have had, I don't know, 100 and perhaps 150 people. And we had the tables all set out. So we provided the food, but we didn't provide the booze for anyone. We had some champagne and some soft drinks, but I said to people, I haven't got time to get a license for the liquor. And quite frankly, it's the biggest, most costliest thing at a wedding. And you know what? People either don't drink or they just literally take the piss and get hammered. So I said, bring your own booze. So therefore, if people were driving, they could have the non-alcoholic. And if people decided to go on it, absolutely fine. And then we had a barn dance in the evening, which is folklore, kind of hoedowny kind of thing.
Wow.
Bit of brilliant, best day. And we did all the decorations ourselves. Well, Peter did all the decorations. We had banners up. We did all the flowers. We did all the candles on the table. We bought our wedding cake from Marks and Spencer's and iced it ourselves. It was a real homemade affair, and it was brilliant.
That's lovely. And how many years ago was that?
2015, so 6 years.
Okay, 6 years.
Yeah.
And I'll have to go with Debbie. You still light up when you talk about this, and I would almost say there's a bit of a blush as you're talking about this.
Yeah, probably. It was one of my best days of my life, as it should be. As it should be.
Yeah. We were supposed to get married in June of 2020, but we can't, or we have postponed it.
Mm-hmm.
We probably spent a good 10 months figuring out the date, because the date was extremely important numerologically, astrologically, and but it was the easiest difficult decision that we've had to make in canceling it, because I don't want people to get sick because they've attended a wedding, and I don't want I don't want people to have to decide, am I going to attend the wedding or not?
Yeah.
So
you've got it booked then. You've postponed it, but you do have the date still.
We do not. We don't have a date yet. Because there was part of it to where I've had to give it time to all of the emotional investment and all of the disappointment. I just needed to let that settle.
Yeah.
So,
and obviously everyone's going to be vying for the top spots. I mean, it's going to be, potentially a few, quite some time, isn't it? Before. I hope you get the right date.
Yep.
And I hope you get an invite.
Well, it's like everybody is telling Chris, you're going to have to Zoom us all in. So for your wedding.
Oh, Gerald, you give me an invite, I'll fly over.
Oh, all right. All that pressure. Woo. Von Mar wants to, can you recommend a book about the Wheel of the Year?
No, I can recommend a series of books. Give me a second and I'll find it.
Oh, look at this. So here we go. Here's our teachable moment.
Here we go.
And while he does that, I still have brownies left.
So these are a series of books called the Llewellyn Sabbath Essentials. And they're lovely. They're pocket sized. So this is the Lammas one. And I'm sure people have seen these around. And these are just brilliant. They follow the same, so you can get them in obviously each different one.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen them.
Yeah, I think most people have seen them, and I just love them because they're kind of pocket size. And as I say, they follow the same structure. So the first bit will just be talking about the essentials, and each time it talks about the northern and the southern hemispheres, what's happening. And then there's quite a big chunk about the festival itself around the world and where all the different countries feed into it all. And then there's talking about how you can do it, and that's whether you've got, your lovely little cottage in the country or in the middle of a high-rise block. There's all the different things. So here, for example, you've got all the different saint days and what else is happening on here. And actually, it's funny I picked this one up because this is the Lammas one. And actually, my hometown of Eastbourne is mentioned in here.
Really?
Yeah, because we did have, obviously, last couple of years, we have a Lammas festival on the seafront, which is just a lovely weekend of folk music and a lot of strong cider, and people just have a fantastic time. And it's a bit like it feels like my Christmas. And then there's bits in here about decorations and crafts and cakes and recipes.
Oh, yeah.
Tradition. And then there's sort of how to do different forms of divination. There's some rituals. And then brilliant at the end is just got a massive glossary of everything it's covered. So,
wow.
And I think these are, it says they're $12 US. So whatever that is in the UK. And it's 14 Canadian dollars. So yeah, I recommend them, and they're so easy to read.
Debbie just said, I literally just figured out the card for my wedding day. It is the Lovers.
Oh.
Huh?
Nice.
Yeah. So, actually, Debbie, that was also the day of our wedding, was also a Lover's Day. And it was a Friday, which is the day for love. And it was at 8 o'clock, which is the time for love. And it was a full moon as well. So there were lots of astrological things that were involved with it. So
hang on, when was my 25th? Is that Lovers as well? Is that right? 2 + 5, 7. Am I right? I've gone blank. Yeah.
2 + 5 is
7.
7.
And Lovers is number 7, isn't it?
It's number 6.
Number 6. That's where everyone's the Chariot, isn't it?
Chariot. The Chariot, yeah.
Got the tarot deck.
So.
I need some chocolate brownies, or what it is. Yeah. Should have got married on a Friday. That would have made more sense then. Is that delicious?
Yeah. So.
Cool.
Jezebel has had those in her cart, but opted out when I realized I don't celebrate the Sabbaths like that.
Oh, okay. They are just, I really like them because they're very easy to read. I can read them in a couple of hours, and you can take out of it what you like. But there's some fantastic websites as well. I'm trying to think. There's one based in Glastonbury, something in the Green Man. They've got a fantastic site.
So, I'm going through this. We have been chatting for an hour and 54 minutes. And
wow.
People are still here.
Oh, it's very kind of them.
Yes, it is. What's your favorite music?
Folk. folk music. So that's my go-to folky, pagany, meditation-y, vibey thing. But I think I mentioned this before. Steel Eye Span is my folk band, but other bands like oh goodness, I've forgotten. Crop Ready Festival. Oh my goodness, I went to a few festivals. I can't remember them. But there's some really, really good modern folk groups out there. Quite young people as well doing some folk stuff. So that's my genre. However, I've recently rediscovered Jefferson Airplane.
Mm.
And I think I probably listen to White Rabbit 3 or 4 times a day.
I love that. Yes, yes. Debbie said you have to add the year too. So you add the day, the month, the day, and the year.
So 25th of July. Oh, I might need to do this. Have you got a pen there?
Yep.
You're the maths teacher. You should be able to do it as well. No, not in my head. So 25 plus 7. I mean, yeah.
And what year?
Including the 0. 2015.
Oh God, everybody's staring at me. Going, well, hurry up. It's a 13-4. So Deanne's right. It would. So it's it is a, depending upon, it's an emperor. And if you do the soul card, which would be the emperor, but if you also do the life lesson, it's a death emperor. So Death Emperor, which is, it helps to transform you and it's a transformation card. And Chris finally showed up, so I'm out of brownies. Chris, you missed it.
Hello, Mr. Chris.
Oh. But the Emperor is a great.
Oh yeah, I love the Emperor card.
Yeah,
really interesting card. It's one I can really think I can get into, and I can. It's the one card, one of the many cards, but I can look at it and go, no, not today. Or
not today.
Okay, I need you today. Yes, I need that armor on, and I need to go in and kick some shit and do all that business. And other days it's like, no, you're not going in on that sort of bullying tactic or overtly powerful. It's really interesting card. I love it.
Yeah. Finally, meow, Mr. Gerald. Well,
I love it. Leon's kind of just catching up, Chris.
Yeah. And Richard said his husband put him in a place in a good way. Well, you put your husband in the place. He's chained up in the bedroom, right?
No, he's come in now. He's fine. He's been out shopping, okay. So it's fine now.
So, Chris, you missed the head.
The hats.
So from this, so
we're gonna have to go back.
So we hope you like it, Richard. It's a mobile phone for him.
Hands-free.
Yeah, there you go. And
I'll keep it on till it hurts.
So Jezebel said a dead emperor sounds dark for a gay wedding. So
it does a little bit, doesn't it? But yeah. But there's something redeeming about having this new, invented, resurrected kind of masculine power, I suppose, if you want to think about it in terms of that one. I don't know.
Well, but also think about, what is it? What's the French Le Petit Mauvais or something like that? Basically, it's the little death. It's the phrase for an orgasm. So.
Oh right, I didn't know that.
So there you go.
Little death. There you go. Sums it all up.
Chris, Chris said, wow, those are some serious hats.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they were. We do not kid around.
Out here, no.
And Chris, you missed it. I had my first troll.
He did. It was very exciting.
Yeah, the idiot.
But it wasn't. I missed it. I'm going to have to go back and watch the first 10 minutes again.
Yeah, the idiot went after Candy. and it was like, oh no, dude. Yep. And Justin Michael's here. Hey,
Hi,
Justin.
Justin. How are you? Good to see you.
And thank you, Jackie.
Yeah.
More.
Oh, I like the emojis for the hats there, Jackie. Well found.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so several people know that phrase. So, but yeah. So let me go through my list, Richard. So
Have we done all the questions? There must surely be no one's asked me many questions. I suppose
yeah, I mean,
it's a good thing because perhaps I've just spilt my life over the internet. People know everything. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, that's a little. What's the most recent deck you've added to your collection?
Healing Light, which I'm going to do on Friday. I'm going to go through the Healing Light on Friday in my live because I suddenly realised, oh my goodness, I've got a live on Friday and I don't know what to talk about because nothing has arrived. That you get that sense of how on earth am I going to talk for an hour? Who's going to be interested? It's like, look at us, Gerald. We managed to do 2 hours now. You know what I mean? Talking about hats and orgasms. It's great, and brownies. But yeah, so that's gonna be, I had to have a deck in my hand to be flipping but I might as well, and I don't know if I've mentioned this one, I might do my everyday tarot because I'm falling back in love with this one.
Yeah. I think it's really important to revisit some of our decks because there's an understanding of there's a new relationship that's available. And it's like, okay, so you've gone away for a while and I've gone away for a while, and what can we share? So, but
it's nice to go back and just like visiting old friends, isn't it? And that one, I mean, I'm not going to talk too much about it because in case I talk about it on Friday, because I really will have nothing to talk about. But it's for me, this is just perfection in a box in many, many ways. And I know it's probably sitting in most people's collection, but perhaps we could get them all out on Friday if we're in the live and we can, just ponder some thoughts about it because it centers me, this deck. It kind of goes, forget all the lovely artwork that's out there. Let's just get down to the bones of what the pictures are. So
yeah. So Chris just had the Lumina come today. Ooh. And Jezebel likes the nice vibe and hanging out.
Thank you, Jezebel.
We two are amazing.
Vibe, isn't it? It's very easy to talk to.
It is.
Easy.
If anybody else wants to come on a live, let me know. So, but
he will eat in front of you though.
So, gosh, Chris, it's just like two brothers battling.
Gosh, you two.
Yeah. This is my most recent deck added. It's the Elemental Power Tarot, and I believe Justin Michael did a video on that on his channel, which got it in my cart, and then I only recently purchased it. So, but Elemental Power Tarot. So yeah.
Now, while Justin and Chris and you are here, is it worth me doing a wee little plug?
Yes.
Because Kristen, I don't think Kristen's here, but hopefully people have seen that let me get the dates out because I'm going to get them wrong if not. But we are doing live chats about the minor arcanas, and I've now scheduled them in. So if I read out the dates, you should know what they are. I know some people have really commented nicely on them. So Chris, we are doing the 19th of March at 7 o'clock, not 7:30. And we're talking about the one suit. Justin, 2nd of April, which is Good Friday. Now, we weren't sure about that one, but hopefully people will have, we decided to go with Good Friday, and we're doing the cups. Kristen is on the 16th of April, and we're discussing the sword suit. And a certain person called Gerald, who never heard of before in my life, is joining me on the 30th of April to discuss pentacles. And I'm really looking forward to that because, firstly, working with people I haven't chatted before, so that's going to be great. good emoji there, Chris. But also, I think it's going to be really interesting just to drill down into those minors a bit more and spend some time just looking at different aspects and different thoughts about it. So there's my shameless plug for it.
I think that'll be fun. I'm looking forward. Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Hopefully.
that. Yeah, I'm wondering if I need to make a hat for that.
You can make a pentacle.
Yeah, but
It'd be more like a fascinator, wouldn't it? I think it'd be more of a kind of
but
like We're in the Money, that kind of Hollywood musical tap dancing thing. I think like that.
Yeah. Ooh, maybe I could make dealy boppers with 2 pentacles on them. Yeah.
That'd be nice. That'll be nice. Perhaps we should craft it. Perhaps, Chris, can you whittle something from a stick for us during it? Do you reckon? It was like.
Have you ever made your own wand?
No.
Oh, I have. It's great.
I would end up cutting my thumb off. I'm really cack-handed with knives. So I see a knife, and I instantly drop it on my foot. It's like it's just a disaster zone. Good emoji. Can I explain about the emoji thing? Because I don't want people to think that I'm a killjoy, okay? But this came up the other day, so I said that I wasn't a fan of emojis. Now, the reason I'm not a fan of emojis is I understand them, but as a form of communication, I think they're a bit rubbish. That's what I think. So they're a form of reaction. And the problem is, because I'm very old, I'm 1,000 years old, I have to go and look up what that emoji actually means. So for someone to send me an emoji, unless it's really obvious, but I think wouldn't it be really funny if we actually communicated like in emojis? That would be really funny, wouldn't it? Could you imagine you went and had a conversation with someone and go, "Oh, I'm really sorry that happened." You know, kind of. Well, let me think about that for a moment.
Yeah.
You know, it would be like, what the hell?
Oh my gosh. And Justin says he makes wands all the time. Yeah.
Do you? Fantastic.
And I'm a total geek when I make magical tools, especially wands, because I will pay attention to the wood when I found it, when I have crafted the tool, and the purpose. So it's like, oh, here you go. There's Jackie for you.
I don't know what that one is. Is it that one? Is it okay, that one? Or is it
okay?
Oh, is that okay? This is the problem. I'm looking at it. So it's like there's so much going on there, isn't there?
Oh yeah. Well, here you should make an
emoji-based play. Could you imagine it? Just silent, might just like mime, and like heart. No, I actually get them, and they've been really useful during lessons when it's online, because I can go to the kids, give me an emoji to show me what you understand, and most of them go thumbs up or pile of poo, whatever.
So yeah.
I want a nice walking stick, like a Gandalfy stick. That's what I actually want, rather than a wand. But they go for a lot of money, so I'd like one, perhaps with a crystal in the top. I think that'd be really amazing. Particularly a crystal that lit up would be even better. Yeah.
Justin, he has a wand made of ash, and the tree was struck by lightning.
Oh wow!
It's like the witchy version of the natural. So basically, that you have that is a coveted. A very coveted type of wand.
Wow.
I have some wood that was struck by lightning for wands, and I made I made a staff, which basically is a big wand, you know.
Yeah.
I made that, and I have put so much there's so much hidden in it that nobody would ever know. But I did that actually over a summer solstice when I created it.
Wow. So that's amazing. To do it over something like that would be phenomenal.
So, and That's the sort of it's a cane. So
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I'd like it with like a, you know, like you can sometimes get like creeper and vines that go up it, and you can somehow incorporate that into it.
Yeah.
I think that's really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, you know, like anything like the Elves City in the Lord of the Rings, anything like that. I mean, if I could decorate to look like that, I'd be more than happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want me to, I can show you mine if you show me yours, Richard.
Don't have one. Don't have one. You're gonna have to whip yours out, and I'll just be sitting here like that.
Do you want me to go get my staff?
Go get it. Go get it. I can
Right.
I can talk to people. Yes.
Talk to
Go.
people.
Do you know where it is?
Don't talk about me, people.
I can't control the chat, so just going to see what people are here. I was given a couple of wands that somebody had made, but I haven't used them. And the thing is, I think that's personal to the person that makes it, so I wouldn't use it out of their understanding on that one. He only uses Justin said, like, he's basically using a magic wand. He's a magician, only using his bat. Back it out, Gerald. Don't encourage him, Jackie. Please don't encourage him. Don't whip anything out. What did Simon say? Something about leaning on his, what was it? Leaning on his weapon or whatever. What was that phrase? I can't remember. So Chris will remember it. Can he use it? I would like to have a nice emoji for a friendly, consoling hug, not grinning face like this. Yeah, I'm pleased that Facebook put hug and care on as an emoji. That's been really nice. Leaning on his tool. That's it.
Whack it out, Gerald.
Whack it out. I know. I
Wow.
know, Gerald. Go on and show us your mighty staff. Oh.
So,
that's really good. Did you do all the leather work on it?
I repurposed something that I found at the charity shop, the thrift store, and so it's like that. And there's the bottom.
Wow.
So, and you can't. I don't know if you can see it, but there's copper on it.
Wow, that's beautiful.
So, and there's some stones, and it, yeah. So there's a lot of magic in this. So
yeah,
but
it's a whopper.
Oh, Jackie, if that were only the first time I heard that. Oh, look, Justin says his is similar to mine.
This isn't a competition, boys.
If it is, I'd win.
How big is it, the staff? Oh, come on, I'm talking seriously now. How long is it?
It's probably about 4, so here, let me pull in my cut. So, like that.
Do you take it out walking, or just do you like have it at home?
It is. It's for magical. It's for ritual purposes. And
right.
Anytime, Chris is like, I'm far too immature for this. Bring it, amateur. You're dealing with the experts. You missed my superpower. So,
yeah, Chris, I'm surprised you're not biting to this. I mean, there's so many innuendos you could have got in, but he's actually been quite reserved. He probably hasn't had his iron brew yet, so hasn't kicked in yet.
So this conversation is giving element of cartomancy, the vapors. The vapors. I wonder if Pharaoh Sachet gets the vapors. So there's my staff. So that it was really powerful to make that. So
beautiful.
Yeah. So all right. So we have we've been on for 2 hours.
Yeah,
15 minutes. So
yeah.
we need to head out because I'm doing a live here at 6 o'clock Eastern with
And I need to get ready to get up early in the morning in
First. Oh,
preparation for
yes.
going back.
Oh, look, and Jamie's here. Hi, Jamie.
Oh, hello, Jamie.
You just missed all of our blah blah blahing. So
Yeah.
and
It started with hats and it went on to. Do we have to do the hats again?
oh well, let's do the hat. So Jamie,
Last time. Let's do it. For those people that haven't seen the hats. This is when I'm my Victorian time traveller, Professor Erasmus B. Alcock.
So, and this is just me. I had my first troll today.
Yeah.
Live. So it's like woohoo. So boom.
Yeah.
So
it's all been kicking up. It's all happening here.
Yeah. So all right.
Right.
So all right. So Justin's like, when I have a live scheduled at 7, do you need me to bump it ahead, Jerome? Your live isn't with me. Am I doing a live with you? But yes, it's the Troll Fascinator. Yes, yes, yes. And Jamie made a hat for Stephen like that, Richard.
Oh, fabulous. Oh, I'd love to see a picture. Can you post it on my Facebook page?
Very nice.
Great.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Richard. Thank you, everybody, for joining. This has been delightful.
Have I answered all the questions, or have we got to do a part 3?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's so many questions. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's like I haven't asked you what you're reading. I haven't asked you what's important to you for considering a tarot deck. I haven't asked you what you're naming your nursing home for old tarot decks.
I had to think about that one.
I haven't asked you if you're doing anything with, the gratitude challenge.
I haven't. I have to be honest with that one. Mainly time, and that's a really shitty excuse, isn't it? So, yeah, but no, I haven't. Word of the year, I haven't.
There's so many questions, Richard. I have tags. I have cue cards.
So we're gonna have to do. So you're gonna have to come back onto Longman Tower, aren't you?
Well, and when I'm there for the Pentacles, it'll all be proper and everything. So.
We are going to do this properly.
Yes, I mean I can be proper.
Properly, okay.
So
no, we'll have a bit of laughing, but I'd like to go a bit. Yeah, we're going to go in depth, not in depth, but you know what I mean. We're going to go a little bit sensibly, I suppose. So yeah, but we'll have a few.
But sure. See, and I'm looking forward to that because the different suits and then the numbers with the suits, it's really brilliant. It's how it's so important, and I'm looking forward to seeing the 3 before me to see how it goes. So I think it's brilliant. So
I think it's going to be really nice to discuss them and take other people's take on them. And I mean, I've mentioned this, what I would like to do at the end, once all 4 of us have all 4 programs have been done, is probably to get everyone together to talk about the court cards. That would be nice. Perhaps this can spin on further and further, and we can do a bit more and more. I think it's so important, particularly people, just to talk about a particular card that they either find easy or find difficult to be dealing with, or something that gives you second insight into something else. And we could talk for months and years about this, isn't it? So it's not going to go away. It's hopefully going to grow. So it's going to be, I'm really looking forward to seeing people's thoughts about it, and people joining in as well, because that's the other great thing, getting other people's insights. And that's one of the things I love about Jen's Balanced Tarot, just everybody typing in. I write down a lot of what people write in my book to go back and have a look at later.
Yeah. And I mean, just that conversation, because Chris sent me a glide yesterday about the 7 of Pentacles, and he added something that it was like, oh, yep, that's the missing piece. So thank you, Chris, Thank you, Chris. And Justin, no, you don't need. I don't need to come on for your live, but thank you everybody for joining.
Thank you so much. It's been really lovely to be with old friends and new friends, and you, Gerald, who are, my Atlantic tarot friend, one of many. So thank you so much for having us on here and having a chance to answer some questions rather than do the questioning for a change.
Yeah. So thanks everybody, and everybody take care. And Richard will chat for a second. Bye.
Cool. Bye.